couldn't help but notice that you changed numbers
Yeah.
to number 0, which is now available for NCAA players. What's the story behind that?
My main story behind it is growing up, I had no father. He was murdered at a young age. So my change was because in my city, there's really no love in my city. So it's like that 0, it represents everything that I stand for. I'm the last of a dying breed. There's nobody that can compare to me. So I just had to make that change.
Hey, Gary, I was just wondering, with JJ being gone and you kind of stepping up into that number 1 role, how big of an opportunity do you see your role being now?
Honestly, I feel as though I had the same role. It's just it's go time to me now. It's no more. There's no more chances. No more second chances. It's like when he was here, I was learning. I would learn from my mistakes. I don't really have no mistakes right now.
Hey, Gary, what was it's kind of an off-season roller coaster. What was it like when you heard that there was going to be no Pac-12 football this season, at least not until the spring? And then when you found out that there was going to be a season, just what was your reaction? What was the reaction of your teammates? Were you excited to get going again?
Absolutely, I was excited, but I felt as though it was more time for me to put in work. I was never disappointed about not having the season. I just felt like it was more time for me to put in some more work.
Gary, just wanted to see 2 new running backs, Frank Brown and Jalen. What are your impressions of them so far?
I'm amazed. I feel as though both of those guys are going to do big things. They surprised me a lot. I feel comfortable around those guys. If I ever was to go down, I feel like anybody in this room can step up and make plays.
Sure. It seems like you guys, again, have a deep group of running backs, and they want to use more than one of those guys. If you're just one of 2 or one of 3, are you okay with that kind of arrangement? I guess, how do you feel about sharing time, I guess, is another way to put it.
I feel like everybody can eat. I don't mind sharing. I grew up sharing. I feel like everybody can eat. It's not a one-man show.
Sure. You're on your 3rd running backs coach here in 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. How would you describe what Coach Stewart is like?
He's an awesome guy. I feel as though he elevated my game, speaking on my IQ way more. Coming in before I met Coach Stewart, I had an all right understanding of the game. But as I got to know him, it gotten way better. Like my IQ is way better.
Is there anything in particular that he's taught you that you feel like is going to be helpful for you?
One of the main things that we discuss, just me and him, is life basically. But if you talking about football, he taught me a lot. It's not just one thing.
Sure. When things were up in the air with the Pac-12 and everything, did you ever consider just opting out and preparing for the draft?
Not at all.
No.
What I live by, I just stay patient and wait your turn. So I was never going to opt out. Just being patient. My mom always taught me to just be patient.
We just talked to Gary Brightwell, who is always a really interesting guy to talk to, and he's had a lot of struggles in his life. What's it been like getting to know him? What are your impressions of him as not only as a running back, but just as a young man?
Just a great young man. Just as you can hear when you hear him talk, you usually end up learning a lot more than he does when you talk to him. Just very mature, very well-spoken young man that just sees life a little bit differently than most people his age. And so I think that's helped a lot with our relationship. We come from similar backgrounds. And so a lot of things that he's preaching, he's kind of preaching to the choir, so to speak. And so we really have made a really good connection. And I'm grateful to be around him every day.
Sure. How do you envision the playing time being distributed among this group? You've got 3 veteran backs coming back. and you have these two freshmen who people have said a lot of good things about. There's only one football. How does that kind of all work out in your mind?
I've been in this situation, a lot of years. We're blessed to have a really good group, and they know the standard is whoever's getting it done. That's number one. Whoever gets it done in practice is going to be the one that's going to take the majority of the reps in the game, and then some of it is just a feel thing in the game. I've gone into a lot of games with an idea of what I want to do, and had to throw the script out of the window, and because a guy was hot or a guy just was killing it out there. And so obviously Gary's a great player. He's a senior. He's our leader in our group. But, man, we have a good problem on our hands that, a lot of guys that we can give the ball to. So I think usually, time and attrition usually sets in. You have, different things that happen during the season. We have different packages to get guys on the field. And so we just take it day by day. And you got to earn it. You got to earn your right to have success on Saturday. And that's kind of how we've been rolling.
Hey, Coach, Michael Wiley is a guy that, for the better, looks considerably different than last season in terms of size. And what do you kind of expect from him, and what went into that, just him getting, it looks like, bigger and stronger?
Yeah, he's really worked hard this offseason, done a great job, soaks up every piece of coaching that he can get. He's worked really hard in the weight room, put on some good weight. I think he looks like a total different running back even from the spring when I first got here. He's fully invested. And you could just tell the way he's playing right now in camp. He looks further along than just a true sophomore that played a few snaps last year. So I'm really excited about his development. He's put the work in, and so I really hope it pays off for him this season, and he can go make some big plays for us.